Welcome to Glowing Success. My name is Heidi and I am your host. This podcast is for beauty entrepreneurs. Join me weekly as we dive into the beauty industry's ins and outs, from business strategies, top-selling services, and taboo topics. I will be interviewing industry leaders with empowering stories and game-changing insights. Let's illuminate your path to success together. Let's jump into this next episode. Welcome back to Glowing Success. So today I'm going to talk about TikTok Shop. Well, I'm going to be talking about a lot of different ways that your clients will probably buy products or you will buy products. So TikTok Shop has definitely been popular, and I'm sure if you're listening and you probably have bought something on there. I have definitely bought something on TikTok Shop, and out of curiosity sometimes, and sometimes it's because I actually really wanted that thing. So let's talk a little bit about why TikTok Shop or any of those types of online sales channels are popular. So essentially what happens is your clients are following an influencer or following a trend, or they're looking at videos and, they are seeing people using these products and talking about these products and sharing about these products. And then they're seeing the views go up and they're seeing all these things, right? So there's a couple different components that play into this. So one is, when it comes to making sales and when it comes to selling retail specifically, or even this can be applied to services as well, a lot of it is about brand building, and a lot of it's about trust, and a lot of it's about, the type of content you make, right? So there's a couple different components, but I will say, if somebody trusts you and your brand, they're more likely to buy anything from you, whether it be a service, an extra service, or retail item. Sometimes it's about content. If your content on social media is eye-grabbing and it's very quickly eye-grabbing and it gives all the information that somebody needs to know within that 10 to 30 second range, because we all have short attention spans and we all like to scroll and things like that nowadays, they're more likely to click on something and possibly purchase it. So, and then on top of that, if somebody sees that a lot of other people have purchased something, they're intrigued to look at it further and possibly purchase it. So, and I say possibly just because there are a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to how easy something is to check out. Where is it coming from? Are they going to pay shipping? So there isn't necessarily meaning that there's going to be conversion just because somebody clicks on something, right? But I will say, so I've been hearing in specifically the esthetician community, and I'm sure this is true for a lot of other beauty and wellness parts of the industry as well. But I've been hearing from a lot of estheticians that they're kind of upset that TikTok Shop is so popular and people aren't buying products from them, and they're going online. And I think this is true for Amazon too, right? So a lot of people kind of went through this same story when it comes to Amazon selling the same products that you have in your spa. And obviously we know some of those products are tampered with and they're not actually the real product coming from that real brand anymore, because it's being tampered with the product wise or tampered with the label, or both. So sometimes we know, in the professional world, how things can be really played with and how things unfortunately go downhill from there. And brands really have to make a commitment to kind of keep their brand how it is and so forth. But so a couple things that I'm noticing is, how people purchase, the trends they're purchasing with. So like I mentioned earlier, people are going to purchase from you if they trust you, or if they trust somebody that trusts you. People are going to purchase something that has a third-party validation. So that just means does it have reviews? How many people have reviewed it? How many people have talked about it? So this is also, also comes into that trust factor. And then on top of that, the good social media content. I mean, if a person's making a really great video, so a lot of top brands will pay top dollar for content creation, right? I think it's called user-generated content. There's something to be said about that, about, making content that really shows people hey, I'm an average person, or hey, I'm like you and I'm using this and look how I've used it. So let me give an example for every one of something I purchased off TikTok. And don't hate me for this, people, but I purchased the stain remover. So I'm laughing because I'm a little bit like, dang it, I got sucked in. But you also have to look at it as, man, okay, I got sucked in. I bought it. I actually did the thing. I hit the button. I got the shipping. I got the thing. So, and I will say that stain remover is amazing. You put it on and it easily removes stains, very much easier than anything else I've tried. And I've tried a lot of different stain things over the years. So I will say I'm a happy customer. I could write a review if I wanted to, and I maybe will. But so for me, what sold me on that stain remover, and the fact that I wasn't even looking for a stain remover. So obviously, like, we all know how social media works. It'll kind of throw things at you in your either For You page or your algorithm if it feels like you are the type of person that wanted to view that content, if you've already searched something similar, or if you follow something similar and so forth. So the algorithm is definitely always looking at what you're viewing and always looking at where you're clicking on, always looking who you follow and things like that. And then it kind of tailors what it wants to show to you based on all those things. So obviously, if I'm interacting with a lot of things, it's going to show me things that are kind of related to it. One of the things I've liked videos of cleaning videos on TikTok. I used to be a house cleaner. This was back in the day. I love cleaning. I like doing things like that. So, and there's some satisfaction that comes from watching cleaning videos, right? So it's kind of similar to like watching waxing videos. I love watching waxing videos for that reason. But anyway, so I'm guessing TikTok, there's a couple reasons it probably showed up on my For You page. So number one is probably those videos I've liked. So it sees that I viewed those videos. It sees that I probably interacted by liking those videos. It also sees like, hey, you follow accounts, or I've liked accounts that are very similar to this. And then on top of that, it is trending. So at the time that I saw this spot removing, stain removing spray, I think it was just trending on a lot of people's pages, and it was doing very well with viewership and things like that. So I bought it. So I fell into it. I did the thing. So I will say, when we're talking about turning this back into the salon and spa world and this wellness world that we live in and we work in and we're, spending our lives in, and you're probably listening thinking, well, Heidi, how does this make sense for anybody that works in the salons and spas and we're selling our products? Now, the things that I mentioned earlier, like, why did that appeal to me? Why did it make me purchase? Why did it, we need to think about these things when we're thinking about how we sell our own retail, how we sell our own products, especially if you've made your own product line, or how we upgrade services and things like that. Like, if you can think of different ways that I've mentioned earlier. So, maybe if you're making social media content, how can you really catch somebody's attention within the first 10 seconds, probably even the first 3 seconds, right? So they're not going to just scroll past your video. Maybe think about that. Think about getting reviews for things. So if you have happy clients that have been using your eye cream that you sell for a very long time and you love it and everybody else should try it, well, how many people are reviewing that? Are you putting those reviews online? What are you doing with those reviews? Are you emailing out reviews occasionally to your email subscribers? Like, this could all help with, maybe somebody that's on the edge of purchasing and just needs that little extra push. Is it something that's trending online right now? So we definitely sell products in our own spas and salons and wellness places that are trending in certain ways, right? So maybe you have an oil cleanser. So I'm an esthetician. I do a lot of lashes. I have lash cleansers, of course. But one thing that's always trending on kind of the skin world is double cleansing, right? And oil cleansers. So I see that was trending for a while. People are talking about double cleansing for a while. This is an opportunity for you to bring it back into the treatment room, bring it back into your business, or bring it back into wherever you work. So you could say, oh my gosh, did you see that TikTok about this? Oh my God, that was so funny that this girl did that, or whatever. Make it personal, make it something you actually saw online, and then bring it back into your room, bring it back into that treatment room and say, hey, you know what? I have an oil cleanser and I love it. Have you ever tried it? Like, And so you drop it in that conversation, right? So this is just a way for you to utilize something that is happening online that you have no control over, because when something's trending, it's trending. So right now, or last couple of weeks, that person was trending that was talking about the demure and the very classy and I forgot the exact wording that the content creator used when they're talking about their makeup. My makeup is very mindful. So that's trending right now, right? So for instance, if I was, trying to relate to a client, or if I was trying to open up the conversation to a client, or if I was trying to, one of the ways I can do that, so if it doesn't go freely, so this is a tip that I have, is if your conversation isn't flowing freely with your client and you can tell they want to talk. So obviously there's definitely some clients out there, and especially if you're an esthetician, we have times where we're just quiet in our service, and that's totally understandable, especially during facials. So I'm not talking about those moments. I'm talking about the moments where you are trying to get to know your client and you do have an opportunity to start that conversation. You do have an opportunity to get to know them better and things like that. So if you notice that they're just kind of being quiet and they want you to steer the conversation, and you're kind of like reaching for straws because you're either not having the most creative day, or you're just trying to get better at this, because conversational speaking and, upselling and things like that, it all takes finesse, and it all takes getting used to the verbiage, and all takes, trying it. So one thing I do is I'll bring that up. I said, oh my gosh, are you on social media by chance? And like, did you see that funny video today? It could be something like that. And obviously read the room. If your client's not really receptive to social media stuff, then don't talk about it anymore, and just keep it short and just be like, oh my gosh, I thought that was funny today. And then move it on, right? And then this is also a good way. So obviously you just ask, hey, are you on social media? And they say yes. That's also a good opportunity for you to be like, hey, do you follow me on social media by chance? And if that already hasn't come up, then you could be like, hey, well, this is my Instagram handle, or this is da-da-da. And that's such a good way to open that relationship of saying, oh, I would love for you to follow me, and this is the type of content that I make. So I really will say, like, when you start opening up those conversations in those ways, you'll be surprised of how many different things you can drop in there and how many different ways that you can get to know your client. But that is also a good way for you to kind of test out the waters a little bit of like, okay, what can I talk about? What can I not? So when it comes to online and social media, just to kind of rewrap, because obviously I'm going off on a tangent, social media doesn't have to be that evil, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is trending, I can't believe people are going to purchase this online kind of vibe. It can definitely be something you can utilize in your favor to actually sell something that you sell. And sometimes it can be used the other way. Like, I've definitely had people utilize online, and that's how they sell to people, and that's how they sell things too. So I'm not a big fan of that totally, but I've seen people do Amazon stores and share that with their clients. I've seen people, start their own TikTok shops. Like, those things can happen as well. But we're talking about selling things that are tangible, right? Selling things that are in person. That client can touch it. They can take it home today after their appointment. And there's definitely an online concept, right? So like I do have a lot of friends in the industry that sell things to their clients online, or I've even had a conversation recently about a company that started, there's a lot of companies that do this, that offer their accounts with drop shipping, right? So your client doesn't even have to come into your spa, and you can have it drop shipped right to their door. So that is nice. So I will say, like, there's so many different ways that we can utilize different things and different ways to, hopefully get the product in the client's hands. But it is fun to watch trends online, because sometimes, like I was saying earlier, you can utilize that to the best of your advantage and really have that as a conversation starter. So yeah, so hopefully you guys have picked up on a few pieces that you can take back to your treatment room today about how either you can drop information into a conversation, or how to utilize, those really viral videos, or those TikTok shop really sensational products that they're selling that are kind of flying off the shelf, so to speak, and how you can use it in your own treatment room and your own business and your own paycheck. Okay, well, thank you for listening, and hopefully you'll tune in next Wednesday. I hope you liked that episode and found something useful or a tip that you can use immediately. If you are wanting more marketing tips, business tips, or anything like that, I have a lot of resources on my website. So I have PDFs that you can download for free. So look in your show notes. There should be a link in the show notes that you can click on, and it'll take you right to my coaching website. And thanks for listening.